I will let you know live.
That Ibanez is rad.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me know when it's live and I'll try and.
Do you play any instruments, Mike?
I play
bass?
that there bass. I play that there Ibanez. I play those there drums.
Yes, he's a man of
Many
everything.
talents.
Yeah, he also plays the good radio.
Yeah. I play the good radio.
Is there really such thing as good radio these days?
I just listen to Spotify now. Pick what you want.
I still like the radio in the car, like Sirius XM, and just see what comes on some of the different stations. That's kind of how I like to listen to.
That's the new way of listening to music.
Here's the.
I still like my collection of music, so that's my radio.
Do you have record like LPs and CDs at home?
Yeah.
How many like CDs do you have or records, if you had to say?
I don't have a lot. I'm not like a collector or anything. Just an average,
Yeah, I have thousands.
thousands. Huh?
Do you?
Thousands.
We're not live right now.
Do
What's
you?
up?
Wow.
No.
How many? Like 2 or 3
For
thousand?
what?
Where's Michelangelo?
He's in there.
Mikey.
Well, I mean, we're live, but nobody's watching yet. We're testing to see if we can hear.
Oh, get out! I'd love to do something like that.
All right, it looks like we're live. I'm gonna start us up.
Can you hear us?
What do you? You've got thousands of CDs. I mean, it probably spans a lot of different genres.
Oh yeah,
What do you?
'cause, no,
I know you've got like rock and stuff like that, but
I work
Yeah, I'm ready.
a couple different sound companies.
mm.
So one sound company mostly bars.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Area 67 Music Podcast Show. I'm Mike Vegas, live here at the Area 67 Recording Studios, and I'm with the Bosh Nelson Band, the BRB Band, and to my right, to your left, or I don't know how that works, actually. Somewhere around in the mirror aspect. This is Bosh. She is the namesake of the band. Then we have Brandon. We have Maxwell. Maxwell Vegas. He's now being known by
Maxwell. No, it's Maxwell Miami.
Miami. Yeah, he's moved to Miami.
I moved to Miami.
And then we got Rick over here. And what's the instrumentation, Bosh? What do you play? What do you do in the band?
Vocals and guitar.
And right,
Yes, and right.
Forget that.
Head writer.
I do guitar.
Okay.
What do I do now? The bass guy still.
Yeah, but you're still stuck.
I'm stuck at bass for.
Okay, that explains the fascination with the bass. And percussion.
If you weren't a bass player, you wouldn't be like, oh, that's a nice bass you have there.
Yeah, he didn't look. He never mentioned the guitar once. Yeah. So
Nice lead bass.
we're just coming to you guys live tonight from the Area 67 Studios, and it looks like you're looking at my back over here, but you may be looking at me straight up from over there, right?
Which way should we be?
Probably over there, I would imagine, since that's the main view, and you can kind of see how it looks in the camera. But we're talking to each other. Yeah,
We're right there.
yeah, we're all over.
I know what I'm looking on that. Oh, okay, right.
You heard of Area 51? This is part of that complex. So Area 67 is part of it. So that's why you're not sure where you're at.
Exactly. Disclosed location. We don't know where we're at right now. So.
We
Right.
could be anywhere. We could be on the moon right now. Yeah.
We could be on the moon.
We could be on the moon, wouldn't it? I think it'd be fun.
We would have to wear a mask. Well, we kind of would have to wear a mask on the moon, but it's a whole different reason.
Hey, we're on Mars. We're on Mars right now. You don't have to wear the whole astronauts. So.
There you go. So, you guys are the Bosh Nelson Band. What kind of music do you guys play? I know what kind of music you guys play, but tell the viewers what kind of music you guys play.
I get rock like a pop kind of vibe to it. Wouldn't you agree? Kind of a classic rock pop kind of feel.
Well, we're certainly not a jazz fusion or a metal band, so we're really far away from that. So
Yeah.
I'd probably say like it's classic rock with a little bit of like poppy seeds.
Yes, very much so.
Poppy
With
seeds
pop
are-
elements, yeah, we have some pop elements in there.
But definitely classic rock. We try to steer straight on that.
So, do you guys do covers, or do you write in that realm, or do you do both?
I think we do. I think we do covers. I think since we're kind of an upstart sort of young band, I think we have room to like do more covers. So I would love to do.
We do some cover songs here and there, but mainly at practice and stuff, we just focus on our original material and perfect the craft that way.
So your influence is classic rock, and that's kind of
Definitely Clapton and Pink Floyd. You're a big Clapton too.
Yeah. Clapton. He's a man of many words.
Yes. Many words. He's just getting started. We gotta break his shell.
That's all right. That's all right.
Influences.
So, as you probably can tell by looking at me, I've been around a while.
Around the board.
So my influences have been Motown, Beatles, Johnny Cash, Christopherson, Floyd, Rod Stewart.
Now, are you saying that Elton on your shirt? Is that why you're saying that you're old? No, I'm not understanding the where you're coming from.
You mean that I'm old?
Yeah. I just don't.
All Santa Claus looking.
Oh, I thought you were dressed for Christmas for the holidays.
No, this is.
Well, you could use that.
Yeah, it's
His nickname is Santa. His nickname is Santa.
At least in December, right?
Yeah. Well, I like it like all year round.
Maybe Easter Bunny.
As long as it's got the whole facial hair going on.
Yeah.
Santa.
So I love every kind of music from Rachmaninoff to
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. Yes.
How did he not come?
Yeah. One down, Jimmy.
I like that. So how did you guys come together as the Beatles, would say?
Well, I've had a couple different people I've had around trying to give and take and see a lineup that works, but I got him. Oh, sorry. I got Brandon and Max. I talked to Max for a while, a year or two, about possibly starting something up, and
We had a Rash tribute band in the work, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah.
So the drummer or the lead singer, please give us a call at
Round and round. Can we go round and round?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
But as a mandolin player, why not listen and take the spot?
These two have been like good friends of mine for a while, and then we were doing me and Rick and a couple other people would just jam into some covers last winter, and he found my ad on Craigslist, and he was like, I kind of want to steer away from the full band kind of heavier rock vibe. I mean, he wants to do some percussion, do some acoustic stuff, do some wineries, stuff like that. So
Cool. And you guys said you got started sometime in the summertime of this year?
Yeah, what would you say it was? Would it be
June or July, us three came together, and then you came probably around September.
Yeah, something like
So this might be a first, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it could be the first COVID-born band.
Yeah, COVID. Yeah, there we go.
we are
Like-
a product of
COVID.
It's COVID.
Yes.
that.
We
In
are
fact,
COVID.
I'm fresh out of.
Fresh out of the IC.
Okay.
I'm really only 27, so I get this.
I was going to say that earlier. Like, I can say
Wow. Okay. COVID is real then. COVID is real.
He's 27, but COVID aged him.
So if my timing is correct, we went into lockdown around early March, I want to say. We came out of lockdown around July. Is that correct?
June or July.
June, July.
That's about when.
So as we were kind of coming out of our shells and cocoons, you guys were like ready to jam.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And how's that been for you guys? Because obviously COVID is still here. It's still happening. It's getting worse as we speak. And I mean, we could be spreading it amongst ourselves for all we know. I know that's where you're trying to stay away from, Maxwell, but
I think I'm
I mean, right now, I've been emailing some wineries, some bars, and some places in Ohio, and starting to get like booked. But there's a lot of places that don't really want to set something in stone yet until probably after the winter. So.
Okay.
But we do got to compete for.
So you're taking advantage of this time to kind of get your bands tight and practice and get ready for some shows. And
Trying to get the choreography down.
yeah.
We gotta work on our choreography. Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you say that because you know a lot of bands jokingly you're talking about that, but a lot of bands don't even consider that part of the process. Performance coaching is something that's kind of a lost art, and it is something that does need to happen.
It goes a long way too.
Absolutely.
One of my biggest bass influences is one cruiser Brett. So I take a lot of influence from his stage moves. I mean, I don't think there's a better bass player with his stage presence. I mean, I don't think anybody comes close to me. Just my,
Definitely does. If you watch some YouTube,
my opinion in earnest, I offer that in earnest. So, yeah. What about, I mean, do you guys agree with me?
I agree.
I think, I don't know why some people make such a big deal out of guys like Flea and Jocko's story. It's, I mean, one cruiser is where it's at. So, I think so.
Whatever you say, boss.
These two mainly go more slow.
Okay. I can relate to that. So, has it been an issue as far as getting together to practice, work-wise and stuff like that? Are you guys
somewhat there? I mean, we have our other our work.
We do about once a week. We would like twice a week, with everyone's schedule and stuff. Just once a week's about where it's at. But I mean,
plus I need about like 8. I need a lot of sleep. I need like 8 hours a day and about 10 at night. So it kind of gets in the way of practice usually. So.
Well, I know a lot of musicians are taking time out during this life break we're going through.
yes,
And,
A lot of bands are breaking up.
yeah, there are a lot of bands breaking up. You'd be surprised at the amount of artists that are in the studio recording right now and recording all that music that they've had, bouncing around inside their heads. Now they have time to get it out. They don't have to worry about booking shows. They don't have to worry about doing all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot more room for writing and getting some of that stuff out. I mean, as far as like our business here, we never closed during COVID. We never shut down. Sorry, Michael Wine, if you're watching right now. We're Zooming. Everybody's at home individually, but we've got a really good, AI guy.
Definitely be done before 10 p.m.
Yeah, we'll be done before 10, and we'll be home.
We're good little boys, Mike DeWine.
But yeah, we never shut down. And the cool thing is, like with especially when the stimulus checks came out, business was booming. Like we were packed. So that's a good thing to hear that musicians are still out there. As much as you guys hear as them breaking up, there's a lot of them that are inspired to do more.
I think we feel that way.
I think right now, I mean, especially we've got so much downtime, you can really start working on the soul.
What helps is we get along pretty well.
Yes, I was just
we're not just bandmates set up. We come to practice.
we generally all like
We
each
get
other.
along. We like each other. We
We
get
get
around.
And I've
It's kind of like brotherhood in a way.
I've played with a couple musicians in the last 4 or 5 years, but I never had a lineup that's like this together, and being of brothers. It's really something different, and I like it.
Cool.
We can all offer our own school opinions without ego.
Yes, we don't really. I mean, the egos are pretty much checked out the door. We all,
For the most part.
for the most part, we all put our input, but it's all in good faith. It's not. No one's trying to be above anyone else. We're all kind of just. If someone got something to say, we take the input and go with it.
Now, do you guys find that your writing process has gotten a little bit easier during these times at all? Because I gotta admit, like, you guys named a lot of influences from classic rock era. from Clapton to Hendrix to Beatles, Pink Floyd. And the one thing that those guys had was periods of time in their careers where there was things happening that meant something in the world. So they had things to write about. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was really important things to write about. Today, we're fortunate to live in this time where we can take advantage of that and use that to our advantage and write about the times. Because that's what makes music kind of timeless, is when an artist writes about something that they've encountered in a time in history, and it's kind of documented in a way better than a history book can document it, because our music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a really good show I watched the other day about Dylan, who just a country songwriting legend, and how his life, as a youngster, basically created by his parents, and living with grandparents, and how his struggles really helped him with his lyrics and melodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think we can watch it. I might have been on Scooby here.
It wasn't a Playboy channel. I think they know that, right?
Probably. I don't have cable, so there you go. But those of you that don't know Dean Dillon, he's just a big old cowboy. Wrote a lot of songs that were huge hits for George Strait, and he wrote
One more time, right?
Whiskey song that
Whiskey Lullaby?
JT and Chris Stapleton released it. Originally he wrote it and gave it to George Jones, and George Jones just did his song justice.
If anybody at home knows who we're talking about, please.
It is on chat. Let us know. And thanks for watching, everybody who's out there on chat right now. Michael Beasley, I see you out there.
See, I was thinking about you people at home. I was thinking about
See?
they all forgot.
But you're what makes it go around, right? Yeah, so I mean, I think this is a great period in time to be able to write about. You know what I'm saying? We're all going through our own issues, our own struggles.
I think it's something we'll branch out into that.
It's definitely, right now, 95% of our songs definitely about women, rather breakup love songs, definitely ballads.
It's good subject matter.
Yeah, that's subject matter that generally is a pretty stable subject matter.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not going to change anytime soon. That's country music has made a bit of a killing off of it.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, but I think that's cool.
It's like, why change away from it if people can relate to it? That's what I try to do as a writer. I want to write lyrics and compose a song that people can relate to, and that they can listen and be like, I'm in that same position, or different aspects of it. So that's what I try to do as a writer.
How do you write though about like COVID-19? I mean, what if we did write a song?
Well, check out Luke Come 6 Feet Apart. That's a fantastic song.
Check out Dave's COVID Christmas song coming out on Monday. He wrote a COVID Christmas song, Dave Squire, shout out.
Yes. Dave's a fantastic keyboard player and drummer.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, he'll be up at 5 o'clock in the morning and stream live and stuff. Yeah.
He's like, come in, I'm like, I'm editing that.
And he's a classically trained pianist, and he's just goes out.
I did a show with him last year at Vortex. We did a 2-piece acoustic thing, and it was phenomenal working with him.
Yeah, he's awesome. He does a podcast show here on Sundays. But he wrote a song called COVID Christmas, and it's a fun little Christmas song about COVID. Aaron, my assistant, and one of the other engineers here, him and another guy, Flames of God. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. He's a rapper. He's a rapper here in Akron.
Shout out to Flames of God.
Flames of God. They just did a record, and basically it's about COVID. Essentially, it's called Smile, and it's about missing your smile. So asking everybody to do a video, pulling your mask down and smiling, and that's what they're going to do in their video. Yeah, so I mean, they're taking, a lot of people are taking inspiration from COVID and writing some stuff about the COVID experience, as well as just the times that we're in. You know, it's not just COVID that we're going through. We're going through some, obviously, some political turmoil in our country, the elections, and all that. Yeah, we'll stay out of that, but that might make good reviews for our channel.
Let's talk about politics.
No. We were doing so.
Yeah. We'll put a break on that one.
Yeah, shut it down.
Yeah.
Music is.
Music's the big healing right now, especially in 2020.
I agree. And, you know, one thing we've been brainstorming here is trying to figure out ways to get around the performance issues that we're going to be facing over the next year or so. So we're trying to come up with ways to do live performances still, but stream those out to our fans and our audiences and stuff like that. So we're trying to get in touch with some venues around town to possibly use their venues, so we have a real stage to perform on and be able to stream live from the venues without having to bring the people in. So, you know, I think any way that we can get performers out there to be performing is what we need to be doing right now. I mean, there's
live music and venues are suffering like crazy.
We're suffering like crazy. You're friends with Clyde. He's a singer-songwriter here in Stowe. And
great guy.
He's a Stowe-Billy, and he's a solo singer-songwriter, and he performs out weekly, like probably every day. And he's still been performing out, and he does pretty well for himself. But it's even getting harder for the one-person act to go out anymore because the venues aren't there.
Yes.
The bars are starting to close. All that kind of stuff.
It's kind of back to politics a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. It'll get there.
I think the concert venues need some kind of financial assistance, because if not, they're just going to go under. And how do they make a comeback? How do you reopen your business?
Miley Cyrus and a couple other acts, they played the whiskey in LA and they raised like $5 million.
You just reminded me of that. Yeah, you just reminded me of that.
Well, you know, I think that's true. Venues need they need help.
Yes.
But I think it's true of every business owner out there. You need to conform to kind of what's going on and think outside the box too. It's incumbent on them to think outside the box. I can't think outside the box for you, but I kind of am. The venues are so dependent on ticket sales and people in the doors and alcohol.
Yeah,
it's like, well, if you thought outside the box, you can still get those ticket sales. You can still make some money from doing this.
Yeah, I mean, you have a building, you can somehow use it, like repurpose what you're doing.
Yeah. There's a number of ways that you can do things. I mean, even in the studio environment, I had a session yesterday where we actually did a virtual session over Skype. He was able to plug in his guitar into his interface, and I was able to use my Skype settings as my interface as the input. And we were able to do that.
Years ago, who was it that did a duet album like that? It was like Tony Bennett and...
Yeah, it was Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Yep, they did it, I think, over Zoom or something like that. But yeah, I mean, we live in a different time. We can't get caught up in the past and how things are done. But if we want to survive, we got to adapt.
Right.
You know, my dad was a Marine. He was a Marine drill sergeant, and you know, it was always overcome and adapt. So you overcome and adapt, and that's how you do it. You overcome by adapting.
I think at this point, what are we, like 8, 9 months now? We definitely adapted, and whenever it's done, it's going to be like
Yeah.
And you know, one of the venues that I used to deal with quite is doing well now. They completely revamped,
Right.
cut a lot of stuff out, but their profit margin is sustainable and growing.
Yeah.
And you know, they've eliminated the expense of
Yeah. It's
gotta be a line.
yeah, absolutely. There's, as a business person, you're always going to be evolving regardless of a pandemic out there or not. You're always evolving with times. So this is a little more forced upon us to adapt, but you can still evolve and you can still adjust your business models to adhere to what's going on. It's tough. It really is. I mean, I saw a video today of a business owner. I think it was in California. Yeah, it was in California, and it was a bar owner or a diner. It was like a bar or diner type thing, right? And the government closed all those restaurants down and stuff, right? But she was coming into her parking lot to have a protest that she was setting up. And then she was pulling into the parking lot, and there was covered tents in the parking lot with tables under the covered tents. That the governor approved that for movie people who were having like a convention or something in the parking lot. But she was forced to close her business down where she had outdoor seating.
Wow.
So, you know, they do make it hard on you. You know, and to me, that's, you know, that comes back to the political part of it. And I think it's bigger than politics. I think there's something bigger going on in the world that we're not paying attention to or not seeing.
Like that, though, I mean, as far as there's a big thing as far as
I feel like there's well, you've heard the word reset a number of times in the media. There's a great reset. And if you pay attention over the past 10 years, the dollar is the target. And if you're going to get America, you go after the dollar. You go after their economy. And that's exactly what seems to be going on, is that our dollar has been devalued. We're at 30% of our dollar is only valued at about 70% right now. Not too much more to go, and we're not the backer of gold, the gold standard anymore. We back the gold in the world. So our dollar is the top tier. But China wants to have the yen be backing the world, the gold, and be the leader of the world economy, right? So in order to do that, you have to devalue the dollar. You have to kill the economy. And to me, I feel like it's a bigger picture. I think that the world, there's a bunch of people around the world who want to have a one world government. I'm sure we've heard this before, but I think it's more of a one world currency.
And you know, when the Big Mac came out, this is my Big Mac. When the Big Mac came out, it was 47 cents. The value of a Big Mac, and I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to use the brand, but the value of a Big Mac is the supposed nutrition, the calories that you get from ingesting this particular.
Right.
So the nutritional value, the calories, they're all the same. The value of the sandwich, fuel for my body, is remained constant.
Right.
Yeah. The 47-cent Big Mac is now $4.
Right.
So the Big Mac hasn't grown in value. It just gives you an expression of how much the U.S. dollar has declined.
It's declined, and it's the value of the production value of U.S. goods as well has declined because of that right there. The price to sell something in the United States it's hard for somebody to create something in the United States and sell it here in the United States and make a good profit when they could source it out overseas and have it made cheaper and then be able to sell it here. So, I mean, to me, this is my own personal opinion, but I feel like it's a bigger picture. I think we're just blinded by our own little situation right here. But everybody's dealing with the same thing. I mean, there's riots going on in Paris right now that they can't stop. You know, there are bad riots going on right now in Paris. So we're not the only country that's feeling the devaluation of their currency happening in front of their eyes. And really, whoever backs the goal is the power.
Has it been deliberate, or has it just been the out? It's just because the outcome of what's happened with
Well,
COVID-19.
I think COVID-19 was the catalyst to allow them to do what they've been wanting to do for a number of years.
Perhaps.
See, this is, you got to think about something. China's been around tens of thousands of years or thousands of years.
Yeah.
We've been here a couple hundred years. Most countries have been around maybe 1,000 years. So they've been around a long time. They understand how to run government. They understand how to do all this kind of stuff. So to them, 100-year plan is nothing if you've been around thousands of years, right?
I agree.
So who's to say that this plan hasn't been enacted since the 40s?
Yeah, you're right. It could be.
And it's a slow build. It's a slow process. But once it gets to a point, it snowballs to a point where we can't do anything about it anymore because it's just got too big of a snowball.
Then this goes into like, you know, COVID-19 was created in a lab in China, and then was deliberately let out so it could expose the world to it. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to agree.
No, I hear you.
You might be right. You might be right.
If you ever listen to any of the Chinese generals ever talk about how they would take over the United States, the number one, check it out. They say that they would attack the United States with a virus. It would be chemical warfare. It would be viral warfare. It would be done like that.
Well, yeah, well, then you can, I mean, like this is, I mean, I see your point. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I mean, in this case, it's like, is China to blame for COVID?
I don't know that. I don't.
I'm saying it's hard to pin them.
Yeah, I don't know that there's really. It doesn't really matter where it came from. The fact is that there's a reason now to be able to do it. It's like, okay, there's a pandemic. We can shut everything down. And now we can start enacting this because the economies around the world are all suffering. And everybody's currency is being devalued other than China. Only the free economies around the world. Right, only the free economies around the world. So, to me, it just feels like it's something bigger. It feels like, you know... Well, I think it's important.
For the next great
But I think that's something that's lost in the current generations that we don't think. We don't think about different scenarios. Yeah, they may seem a little weird and a little out there, but you have to think about all scenarios if you want to, you know, be able to adapt to whatever comes your way and be prepared for them. You know, and to me, you know, there was some reports come out the other day from the CDC that the Red Cross took blood samples back in November. Okay, those blood samples have been all tested. All those blood samples they took in November all came back as positive for COVID. So COVID was here in the United States in November.
I'm pretty sure my grandpa.
You mean of last year?
Last year.
Yeah, because my grandpa was in the hospital around Christmas time last year, and he didn't know exactly what it was.
Yeah, I had a friend who was in the hospital. He went to Chicago for New Year's Eve, and he ended up in the hospital. This is a 23-year-old kid in perfect health, and he had double pneumonia, which is COVID.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to. They didn't know what to call it, but he had double pneumonia. So this shit's been here. So regardless of where it came from, it's just a reason to be able to do it. It's like, oh shit, like it's like it's a rioting. It's like people are breaking glass in the windows of the stores, and people are walking by going, oh shit, the windows are open. I'm gonna jump in and start taking stuff. It's kind of the same thing. We have a reason to be able to do what we've been wanting to do for a while. And that's the scary part. Is we were just talking about hoping it goes back to normal. I don't know if it ever will go back to normal. I don't know that normal. This is the new norm, and who knows what's going to happen. I mean, we still have a few more months before. We got 2 more months till January, and I think January is when we're going to really find out what's going to happen in this country.
January's 4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks. Yeah, so we don't know what's going to happen. The election still hasn't been resolved. All that stuff hasn't been resolved yet. So who knows?
It's utter chaos. I have to say, I don't like it. I guess that's the way. I love chaos.
Chaos is cool.
I love it when things are chaotic.
I thrive in chaos.
I think I do too. So I think when everybody else is losing themselves, they're looting. It does. As far as bass playing, my bass moves. Your presence, everything. As far as everything. But yeah, chaos is cool. I guess that's what I'm saying.
There's the next song, Chaos.
Yeah, another song.
Or an album.
Right. I think that would be better than the going album title.
Wasn't that the song by again? The arch nemesis of Maxwell Smart in the TV show Get Smart or Chaos.
I never watched that show, to be honest with you.
I should call mine like
1966.
I should call mine Michael Bradley. I think I would know the answer to that.
Does anyone know HR stuff from the 70s?
Yeah, my kids will.
Just watch it out.
Whatever it is, it's just gonna be you, man.
So you guys got some new music coming out. Taylor was one of the songs that you recently released. 500 views already, or listens.
Yes, sir.
Very cool. What else you got coming out?
It's a 10 album. 10-song album. 10 album.
Wow.
We've really been
Ambitious, yeah.
The code is just like 10 tracks on the album. And they're all over the place with emotion. From love to breakup song. We got a great instrumental that he did. We got a song on there called Leave. I wrote about kids at the children's hospital. They've been on my mind right now lately, so I wrote about them too. So
Nice.
all over the place.
Cool. When is this? When and where are you going to be dropping this music?
It's gonna be February 1st is the date for the album, and it's gonna be Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, wherever, YouTube, wherever you want to listen to it, wherever you prefer. It's gonna get it. I mean, there's gonna be physical copies. I
take that back.
Take someone else to the exchange. You never know.
If you're local, you want a physical copy? Or if it's on Amazon, they'll print you a physical copy as well.
There you go.
Amazon's the new age.
Amazon is taking over, aren't they?
Yeah.
Pretty soon we're going to have Amazon Records. I bet that won't be long.
This guy works at Amazon, so
Hey, do I work there? I do work there. There's more cameras there than there are anywhere else. Yeah. I'm sure. It's like you guys got a camera on you wherever you are.
Little China, that's what it's called. Amazon Little China.
It is. If you go drive past the facility on the road, it's a little like a big prison. A few people said that, and it doesn't kind of look that way. It's like all fenced in, black fence. Yeah.
Well, they're doing a little bit of everything these days, from what I understand. Pretty soon it'll be. I just got to go shopping at Amazon, and there won't be any other stores to shop.
Yeah.
You're getting into the grocery business now.
Yeah, didn't they buy whole?
They do. Yeah, in fact, you can work as a position at Amazon. You can shop for customers who want their food. You go foods and do it.
That's pretty cool that you can be a shopper now. You can go fill orders.
And make money shopping for people.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's a job I wouldn't mind doing. It's like instead of stocking shelves, I'm just pulling shit off the shelves, putting them in my car.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. I would do that. So my honey-do list and go shopping for somebody.
You could like shopping for someone else and maybe somebody for shopping too, and like kill birds and stuff.
Well, I've seen that there's a lot of like little businesses popping up that are doing that now. Like they're doing deliveries, groceries and stuff. I think my wife orders from Aldi a lot.
Oh, okay.
But they don't have a delivery service.
Do you have like a curbside?
But somebody does deliver for them.
Okay.
They do have somebody that you can call on because they deliver to our house all the time.
How do you feel about Amazon taking over the world?
That's a lot of stuff.
They sell all this stuff.
They sell all this stuff. They sell everything.
It wasn't that long ago. They were just a startup company competing against Barnes & Noble. And
That's true. That's right. They started off taking out the bookstores.
How did they just expand like overnight? It's just like
good business model.
someone's doing something right there.
Yeah, good business model.
I think it'd be Jeff Bezos. It's worth about $200 billion now.
He's
Doing something right.
I don't know shop at Amazon, so I wouldn't do it.
Really, you don't?
No. I have to do online and it's eBay or Amazon. I don't really eBay.
Wow. We're allowed to curse and swear here.
This is the internet.
Fuck Amazon, then, right? That's your I should say that.
Yeah, you probably don't want to say that.
Jeff Bezos don't fire me.
Amazon, please. He didn't mean that. He doesn't know what the hell he's saying.
I don't know what I'm saying.
I think he hit his head on the back of the corner of the
toxic
table.
fumes.
I have dementia, so.
Brand is actually
Yeah,
He controlled my every move with mine.
He's quiet, but his mind is doing
Quiet,
quiet.
but deadly.
it's scary. It's a scary combination.
Yeah, very scary combination.
But we all got kind of the same sense of humor, the same style, and kind of just shells. That's very outgoing.
So you guys are going to do a couple of songs for us tonight?
Yeah.
A couple, 2 or 3 songs?
Yeah.
That's how we say it up in New Jersey. 2 3. 2 3.
2 3.
Tree, like a tree.
No, it's two trees.
I lived in the Poconos for a couple of years, which is the border of PA and New Jersey, and the Delaware Water Gap right there. The Poconos used to be the honeymoon capital of the world. Dirty Dancing was in the Poconos? No, that was in the Catskills. But it was the honeymoon capital of the world for a number of decades. People would come over to honeymoon there. Got lots of camping and stuff out there. Yeah. But my point was that I encountered a lot of people from Jersey. So you got to pick up some of their
Jersey dialect, right?
Which is kind of cool.
I like it.
It's a little different than New York. So.
We have the main fall.
Yeah, what is kind of the fall dialect?
You know that circle on the street and the sidewalk? There's only one place they call that was
Okay, yes.
Akron, Ohio.
Shout out
Street line.
Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
The only dialect I've ever heard up here is like, especially in the Northeast Ohio, it's Cleveland and anything women. When they speak, they get nasally with their A. So they're always kind of So their A's are kind of.
I can see that.
But I've never heard it anywhere else outside of Cleveland or Northeast Ohio.
Interesting.
Yeah. I grew up in Texas, so when I first moved up here, Houston.
San Antonio, which is not that close to Houston, but you might think it might be.
It's not that far.
Absolutely my favorite city on the planet.
It's a nice city.
Yeah.
Right up there with good old Motor City.
Just behind Akron.
Yeah.
Just behind Akron.
Just
Well,
over you.
I think what we're What's going on there? Everything good?
Just making sure it kind of froze on me. If you know.
Oh yeah, I see a little freezing going on. Well, I guess this is a good time for an
Freezing outside.
intermission and get ready to do our live performances.
Yes.
So we're gonna take a little intermission, everybody, and then we're gonna get set up to do a couple Two Tree songs.
Yeah, two tree.
Two or three songs.
Couple Two Tree songs, and we'll be back with you with the Bosh Nelson Band. The Bosh Nelson Band. These guys back here. Them. Right there.
There we go. Good. I gotta take a quick leak.
As do I, so